Hi, Zil.
Hi Neha, how are you doing?
Very good. How are you?
Good, good, good. Excited about talking today about our collaboration for Helsinki Fashion Week.
Yes, absolutely. Who knew we would come live like that and not physically meet thanks to COVID?
Exactly. It was actually fascinating that we haven't really met in physical, in real, but
Right.
we were able to work quite efficiently and quite hard over maybe over 2 months or
Yeah.
and a half
Yeah.
month. Yeah.
I remember there were like so many mails back and forth. You'd send something and maybe you would not be okay with it. I wouldn't be okay with it. So the denim fray, and there's just so much which we are going to be talking in detail soon. Yeah, so I think we can start this conversation by kind of introducing ourselves. That's because uh, people know what people. I'm not sure if they know the term traditional designer and the term 3D designer that much. I mean, there are a lot of laymen also, like from my family, they are watching, and so just kind of doing a small introduction here. I'm Neha, and I am a traditional designer, so to say. I work with denim industry waste. So it's all in the real world for me, unlike Zil. So I work with denim industry waste, and from their yarns to fabric cuttings to small yardage, everything which is pre-consumer, not the post-consumer waste, and I make art pieces out of it. So runway fashion, but that doesn't mean I don't make the regular way. I do make the regular jeans, regular jackets as well, but more of it is the runway. And I participated in Helsinki Fashion Week. I was selected as one among the 15 designers, sustainable designers. But because of COVID, the physical show did not happen, and that is why the digital Helsinki Fashion Week is happening on the 31st July. The details are on the Instagram page. And as a part of the Digital Fashion Week, I collaborated with this amazing 3D designer called Zil, who has who is a pioneer in converting your basic sketches into real 3D garments. And these 3D garments are just not as, just not like the good looking pieces on the screen. These can actually be bought too. So this is also something which we're going to discuss later in the talk. So over to you, Zil. Tell me
Yes.
about yourself.
Thank you very much, Neha. Great introduction. My name is Zil. I'm based in Prague, Czech Republic, and I was basically I developed my skills in digital fashion at Amsterdam Fashion Week, which is one of the few schools that is actually allows you to develop your skills in this manner because they're well equipped for this situation. And so I graduated 2016 with the digital collection. I was one of the pioneers next to Amber J. Slote and Tamara Koch. They gave us the hope that we can present digital pieces that didn't happen ever before. So we kind of surprised them with a different way of presenting our pieces, and it kind of worked out. And ever since I finished school, I was freelancing and actually working in a field of digital fashion. That market is still growing and was not that big, but thanks to COVID and thanks to Helsinki Fashion Week, that is setting the new level, in my opinion, and making it more and more visible in this situation that really amplifies the digital possibilities when we had to be in a lockdown, etc. So now it really makes sense and start to like kind of like get it together. People are getting it now more and more, but still. I'm excited about talking about our journey that was from the sketch
Yes.
through the digital prototyping to the physical piece.
Right.
So yeah, I prepared some visuals to share my screen with you guys. So to map our journey. So basically, we started off with Neha sending me a sketch and a sample of her fabric of the denim pieces, which I find really fascinating. And it was a big challenge for me as a digital fashion designer because fraying edges and this many pieces sewn together are something that I thought, wow, it's gonna be a huge file, which is comparison to maybe like I would call it that it was kind of like a cyber couture.
Right.
So from the beginning of the sketch and the picture of a physical denim sample, we moved to some digital sample that it was, could be presented as it is or could be produced as well.
Right.
So the journey kind of was like that. First, I received the sketch and the technical from Neha. And then I did some research, then we did some fittings, and then I'm going to tell you something about the time that I spent on the digital work. So Neha sent me something like this, which is basically the technical explanation of how the garment should be assembled together and what is the fabric going to look like. Then I received a digital pattern from her, which is very fortunate because not all the designers can provide you with the digital pattern. But it's not a problem, we can do that. That's why it's important that the digital fashion designers have a knowledge in technical craft of fashion.
Right.
That they know how to construct garments and what does the pattern says. That's really helpful. Yes, working like this.
Right.
And then so I did some research about like how to put the denim together. So I gathered a lot of pieces of denims. Then I realized, okay, so in order to express it, I need to be prepared with 4 different files of the material, and that is the PNG, which is allowing you to see the background, picture that is called normal map, that is generated. Could be generated online these days, which is great, and displacement map that gives it a depth and kind of this like feel. So I started my research and I started like thinking, okay, how am I gonna like create this this kind of like denim fur digitally? And so I started some experiments. And there was the first fitting. First fitting was just that I kind of like sewed things together, and then I still had some questions because I didn't see the sketch from the back, for example. So here I am asking Neha. So we were always communicating via email so that we could exchange visuals easily. And then here you can see like how many pattern pieces it was. So already for the first fitting, it was quite demanding. Then the second fitting, Neha needed some alterations in the length, and also the waist was placed a bit higher and opening. So firstly, it was like this empire line dress that the waist starts at under the breasts. And then we moved forward. So I read her notes, then I tried to develop it further. So I lengthened the dress and made the alterations. And in the end, I created a different pattern that it was like kind of like half circle and no seams in between to make, to make it look like it is kind of like continuous line. It is pretty regular in the digital to compare with the real life, but it's something that I try to achieve with like putting different kind of denims next to each other in an unregular way. So, well, so the static. There was still some problem with the silhouette. So Neha asked me if I can make the waist more narrow. That meaning that it will be copying the body more. And then I did a new base of a pattern, so that I created a princess line dress without the seam in the waist. So it was like a new kind of beginning. And then, moving forward with it, and then completing the whole collaborative look in the end looked like this. So here I calculated somehow the time that I spent on it. When I say the cyber couture, this is what I mean. That the actual collaborative look consisted of 465 pattern pieces, and it took me just like clean time sewing and working digitally 126 hours, so that both sides, from the sketch to the point where both sides are happy, and we have a digital garment that is a collaborative look that could be sold online or could be produced and sold in real.
Very cool. So I see a lot of hours have been put, and honestly, in my in my research, I did not put so many hours while sketching. Of course, it's a lot of time thinking about the concept and how to get it as sustainable as possible when it comes to the real garments. But the work really starts, the hard work for the designer really starts when you're on digital platform like Clo 3D, like the way you did, and like so many hours put in. So I wanted to understand, from you, what's really the need for the digital fashion? I mean, this is a very, very new concept for me. In fact, before Helsinki Fashion Week, I'd never even heard of anything like a digital fashion that existed. But now I know, and I also know that there have been some digital styles that have been sold and auctioned for like a tremendous amount of money, and people actually wear them for their social media platforms. But I don't really get it. I mean, how do you explain the trend of digital fashion, Zil? Because you are a digital designer, and I'm sure, I mean, you would have done a lot of research as to why is it there in the first place. Nobody's really wearing it, so why do you really need it?
Well, I would say that like development started already back in, 2014, 2013, 2014, 2015, when there were a lot of problems that fashion was facing, such as the disasters in Bangladesh, then the movie True Cost, or fact that a lot of head designers were quitting because of the burnout in Parisian fashion houses. So it was obvious that something is going on, and there was all of a sudden the aesthetics were not enough to express yourself. You have to actually make something meaningful, because we don't need any more clothes. We have enough. So how are you gonna answer to this situation? So basically, this is what during my studies we were kind of asked to, react on this situation. And they were telling us, we are teaching you the old-fashioned way. When you get out of here, you're not going to have a job. I'm sorry, I don't know how to do it differently. So it kind of like forced us to look for new forms of expressing ourselves, new ways how we could survive in the world and still make it like work for us and still make it meaningful. So I found this, digital fashion way of expressing myself, because I was also working with the no waste patterning. So for me, that is very heavy for sampling. So I moved that sampling into the computer basically. And thanks to Cloud 3D, the visualization was awesome. So we were we were very lucky that we could use that in school and practice ourselves already back in 2016, 2015. So first it was very, hard for the teachers to understand, like, okay, this is not a toile, this is just a picture. And after a while, they kind of understood that, oh yeah, so you can do actually, alterations very easily without even wasting material. And after a while, you could see all these advantages that this way of working can give you. So basically, I saw the potential in the prototyping, because I saw how much waste is generated while, creating a new style, new design. You sometimes have to do 4 different toiles, and then you have a waste that you cannot really throw away, or cannot be even recycled. So prototyping is really interesting part of the digital fashion. It offers there is a new kind of job in a way for the fashion designers who are who understand how to work with computers a little bit and who enjoys that, because you still need the knowledge of the fashion, classic pattern, craft, and how to sew things. But it's creating this new kind of craft. It's a combination of the old knowledge and the new knowledge, the traditional craft and the tech. And since, also another benefit is that the digital design can work as you can display it. You can send it on a catwalk at the three places around the globe at the same time. So you can have a fashion show in New York, London, and Hong Kong at the same time, which is another like new possibility that is open, and why not using it?
Right. So I'd like to mention Hanifa's show here. I'm sure you would have seen it. So what she did was took her digital pieces and she put it up online without having to really make the physical pieces. And people got, she got orders on the digital pieces because the digital pieces were just as good as physical pieces. There is just no difference apart from the fact that it's more sustainable because you're not even creating a sample. So, and then she got orders on that. So basically, a very good platform to getting orders without having to courier the pieces, sample the pieces, color, no, this is not correct. Because in our industry, when you do the physical design, there are just so many back and forths happening. Okay, you know what, the zipper is changing. Okay, fine. You know what, this denim color is not good. Things like that. But in digital, you just correct it online on Clo 3D, and there is just so much you can save on time, on money, on travel, on, so many things. So for me, this is like an eye opener. Honestly, Helsinki Fashion Week is like one of its first kinds. No fashion show has done it before, so it's like a pretty good thing to be a part of it and to be working with you on this. So yeah.
Likewise, because for me it's since I'm doing something like I will play a video, so you can actually when you make the 3D sample, you can send it to the factory or somewhere to the designer in the 3D where you could see it. This is like the WebGL viewer, so you can basically you will receive this file and you can view it from 360 sites, which is just another like new way of how the fitting can look like. Yeah.
Right, right. So,
And
yeah, sorry.
yeah, so it was great working with you as well, because um, for me it's important to see the connection between the tradition and how the piece could be actually born in real, and you got these connections.
Right.
So
And imagine now this digital piece is getting converted into physical. Now, because of COVID, I'm not able to go to the factories, but it is getting converted and we're going to see the physical piece too. So it's like amazing, the whole journey.
and what possibilities does it open for you when you have this like digital sample right now, or you have a digital collection, right? What do
So,
you think of doing it with it? Like,
so
are you gonna sell it online or?
right. I hear that now because of COVID and even slightly before this COVID time, people have started looking into buying digital garments. So for somebody like me, I want to sit at home and I just want to wear a runway piece, just posing at my own in my own office. I can actually wear it without having to go out to buy it, spend so much money. Of course, you'll be spending a little bit in digital sample as well, but you really don't need to do anything as long as you just have to send your picture to the digital garment person, and they'll dress you up in the design that you like a very funky jacket or something, and they send you the picture and you're good to go to post it on the social media, and nobody ever gets to know that it's a digital piece. Of course you will tag and all that, but the rendering is so natural that unless you tell them that it's a digital piece that I'm wearing, it does not really exist. It's just a very cool new thing. So
Yeah.
apart from this social media attraction, the second thing is the gaming industry. A lot of people in the gaming industry are wanting to buy a digital. So yeah, so it's kind of a collaborative thing that a traditional designer coming together to get into digital fashion and then finally making the real garment. So it's
Yeah.
been really nice journey being friends with you, sharing so much knowledge. You've opened like a big like a new era of digital fashion for me because I had zero idea about it.
That's cool. I enjoyed working together as well a lot, and I hope that we can like develop some communication further after this.
Yes,
And yeah, it's.
looking forward.
I'm really happy that this Helsinki Fashion Week actually went fully digital, because it's gonna push the, you know, possibilities in fashion much further, and it's gonna set a new standard in a way,
Right.
uh, which is super good. And yes.
All right. I think our chat is going to get over. Let's see if we have any questions.
Um,
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, this is when we're talking about sustainability, this is the whole new level. There's a whole new, possibility, a whole new thing
yeah.
too when we talk about.
Like, when I hear always people talking about digital fashion, I miss some criticism. There is always this, wow, yes, it's great. But since I'm doing it for quite some time, I already see the limitations of it. How much time does it take? And so actually to sew the garment in real and to sew it in digital could be equal as much work. Yeah, so it depends how you understand this tool and how are you going to implement it in your work. It's really important to realize yourself when you have a company how to efficiently place it in your workflow, that it really helps you and not drags you like backwards. And um, so I'm very curious about that. That's why I did also the timing to see for myself, like, okay, this piece was something else. The collaborative look was something that I allowed myself to work on extra hours, because it was just one piece. It was kind of one of a kind, for the catwalk. Um, so I allowed to work on this long hours, and fashion, you still need a computer and you still need power. And so,
Yeah.
different way. Yeah.
All right. All right, Zil. Great chatting with you.
Yeah, Neha, thank you so
Hope the
much.
audience also liked it. Got a taste of what digital fashion is about. All right. Cheers. Bye.
Thanks for listening. Bye bye.
Thanks. Bye.